What up, what up? This is Coach Liebs bringing you episode 19 of Coach Talk. Today's Thursday, walkthrough day right before the game, so not really much to update you guys on. I want to get right into the topic that I have in mind for the day, and that is coaches' fashion and the gear that we're given and the gear that we wear, the way we dress, mostly during practice, during football activity is what I want to focus on. But I think it's an interesting topic. Having coached at in the Big Ten, having coached at Albany, having coached at Wesleyan, at D3 school, now at Don Bosco Prep in high school, I've seen kind of all the different levels of gear distribution, like requirements for what you wear. Some places are looser than others, and I just think that it's an interesting topic to get into. This is definitely going to be a larger podcast episode with guests and sound bites and all that down the road, but right now I don't really have all the time during the season to produce one of those episodes, so that'll wait till the postseason, and I just want to get into it right now on this Thursday and kind of talk some more about it. But I just think it's funny. So like when you, for example, when you're at Rutgers, right, you're given so much gear that you're expected to dress a certain type of way all the time because you're given, 4 pairs of shorts, 5 tops, 2 hoodies, whatever it is. You have all the gear you could ever dream of as a coach. Like we would get. I was off the field in player development my first year at Rutgers. When I got promoted to a GA, I was the assistant quarterback receivers coach. Then I was viewed as like a full-time coach and got gear like a full-time coach. And it would be like once every 2 weeks, we would have a random new sweatshirt or new shirt or new pair of shorts or new shoes, just because it was a Wednesday. Because, Nike was always sending those Big Ten schools, those big money schools, so much gear all the time. So we were always, filled with new stuff. When we played in a bowl game against UNC, my first year at Rutgers, there were 30 days of practice leading up to the bowl game, and every single day the equipment manager gave all the full-time coaches, all the players, a new piece of gear. So one day it might be shoes, it might be a pair of shorts, it might be a shirt, it might be a bag. Like we got an unbelievable amount of stuff. I've been able to outfit every friend and family that's close to me with Rutgers gear for my 2.5 years there. But the thing with that was, like I said, you were expected to be on point with what, like, there was no such thing as wearing anything non-Rutgers to practice. You also weren't allowed to cut or mess with any of the gear you were given. It had to look at like the way you got it originally. But there was no such thing as like, you couldn't just wear a random pair of red and black shorts. You had to wear the Rutgers issued shorts. Whereas like at Wesleyan, you don't get as much gear, and the culture, there's no media around, there's not all this attention around you at a D3 school. So the attention on what you're wearing is much looser, and you could pretty much come out in anything there. Guys would wear, like we had a coach who played at Penn State. He'd wear Penn State shorts, Ohio State shorts. I wore Rutgers gear at times when I was there, but I've always thought that it is important to be on brand at practice. I think that it affects the kids. I found that whenever I'm at Bosco now, and we weren't given a ton of gear when I got here, especially in the summer. When I first got here, I didn't have any Bosco gear for the entire summer. I wore a gray hoodie that I cut the sleeves off of like Belichick, and just whatever shorts I had. Sometimes it'd be Rutgers shorts, sometimes it'd be Wesleyan shorts. And I found that every time I wore something from another school, the kids would comment about it and have something to say. And it kind of just like, I think it makes kids think that you're not 100% loyal when you're representing another program, and I get it from their perspective. I haven't exactly put my finger on what I think that's being expressed, but it's definitely something. It happened to me at Wesleyan as well. When I would wear Rutgers stuff at Wesleyan, they'd be like, "Oh, you're big time," stuff like that. So I do think it's important to dress the part, so it's not a distraction for the kids. It keeps them focused, and it re-emphasizes the fact that you're bought in, and reinforces the fact that you're bought in. The same way that if a kid came out at Bosco with a Paramus Catholic pair of shorts on, like, no one would be happy about that. And I understand it's not the same rivalry as if the Paramus versus Bosco, but just wearing stuff that's not Don Bosco issued, I think is something that messes with the kids a little bit. It's something I try to be conscious of. But what I thought was funny was when I was at Wesleyan, we didn't get a lot of gear at first. It's a small D3 school. You only get gear once a year. You don't have the biggest budget. So it's like the spring and early preseason, and I needed stuff to practice in, and especially stuff to go to camps in the summer. So, the D3, you're on the road at all these camps recruiting kids. You need to be in Wesleyan gear. For me, it was a little different because I played there, but I didn't have the updated gear. So what I did, I was lucky. I came from Rutgers to Wesleyan. Rutgers is red and black. Wesleyan's red and black, both Nike schools. So I sent in like my best 10 tops, like jackets and short sleeve pullovers and and hoodies and stuff like that. I sent them to this company, Burlington Sports and Graphics in Vermont. And I had them pay like $10 a jacket to have them rip off the old Block R's, and they sewed on a Wesleyan W on all this gear. So I had literally the freshest gear in the entire NESCAC conference because I was wearing all the Big Ten gear that I was able to translate right to, the Wesleyan gear. I had better gear than the head coach and everybody. And I always felt like that rubbed people the wrong way a little bit, but I didn't care because as a coach, I enjoy feeling like I look good. The same way I think players enjoy having wristbands on and different Under Armour or whatever it is. Like, you look good, you feel good, you play good. Like, I like feeling like I'm on the practice field with a little bit of swag. And now with me, I don't think anyone's paying attention. The players comment on it and stuff, but I don't think anyone really cares. But it's just like a confidence thing for me. Like, I like dressing the part, looking the part, and feeling like I look fresh, in coach's terms. So it was cool to be able to wear, some of that Big Ten gear, on the sideline, stuff like that. But I think it's an interesting point of contention. I think some people take it the wrong way because they're jealous. Some people, whatever, just don't support the fact that you've coached somewhere different than they have. I think there's a lot of weird egotistical things in the relationships with coaches and the way those dynamics kind of play out. Another big fashion trend amongst coaches is coaches tend to wear extra layers no matter what the weather is. So for me personally, I will wear sleeves every single practice during the summer without fail. But I wear it because I refuse to get sunburned and I refuse to develop a farmer's tan. Getting sunburned sucks, first of all, and obviously it's unhealthy. But I refuse to wear a short sleeve shirt during the summer and get the cut off farmer's tan and look like a fool when I go to the beach or whatever else I'm doing, wear a sleeveless shirt. I refuse to do it. So I always wear sleeves. Even when I go down to a camp in Florida and it's 105 degrees, you'll see me with a thin long sleeve shirt on to protect myself from the sun. Other coaches, and this is something I've done at times, a lot of coaches will wear like hot jackets or sweatshirts in the summer to get like an extra sweat in under the guise that they're burning more calories during practice and they're killing two birds with one stone. And coaches are so busy and they're working 16, 17 hours a day. A lot of times we truly do not have time to work out, especially at the Division I college level. There's very little time to get to work out. So I think in coaches' mind, hey, if I put it on an extra layer, an extra sweatshirt, I'm killing two birds with one stone, and I'm gonna, run around at practice and sweat a little more, and I'm good. Now that'll justify the cheeseburger I'm gonna eat tonight or whatever it is. I think the logic of coaches is hilarious to me, and something I will continue to tell more stories about. But the coach's fashion is something funny, man. I'm a big fan of the hoodie with the cutoff sleeves. I don't know if it's because me and Belichick went to the same school, so I've always looked up to him. He was a Wesleyan alum, as was I. I don't know. I just feel comfortable in it. It's something that I don't get cold very easily, so I can withstand, like, if it's not freezing, I'll wear a cutoff hoodie with, a long sleeve shirt underneath in the winter with some sweatpants and be fine. But even in the summer, I wear the cutoff hoodie all the time, just because I feel comfortable in it. It's loose, it's comfortable. I feel like, if you wear different varieties, it looks kind of cool. Like, all those things. I think it's just, again, I don't think anyone really, like, there's a guy like Jim Harbaugh who wears the same khaki pants, the same outfit all the time, which, some guys do that because some guys believe in their fashion not being a distraction and, just like wearing the same thing all the time, the same way you get into the same routine. Why would I change anything different? And people are like that way too. Even if you feel like you got some swag and you're dressed, I wear one of 2 or 3 outfits on the practice field. I don't have a different one every day. But, I do like to switch it up at times. Definitely the game day, I like to be on point on game day. Have, clean press pants, have your shoes looking nice and some official professional looking top on with normally I wear a backwards hat. I'm not a big forwards hat guy when I'm coaching. I don't know why. When I'm walking around, when I'm doing this stuff, I'll wear a forwards hat, but I'm a big backwards hat guy when I'm coaching. It feels very weird for me to wear a forwards hat. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I like to view myself as like a youthful spirit when I'm coaching. I don't know what to tell you, but that's my insight on coaches' fashion. It will definitely be a longer episode, a full episode with guests. I think this is a hilarious topic and something that will provide a lot of entertainment. But that's all I got. Thursday, walkthrough day, going to be locked in. I will update you guys some more tomorrow when it's game day. This is Coach Liebs, episode 19 of Coach Talk. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.